Another option for victim packaging is the sked. With a sked, you typically want to use a backboard at all times because it helps the comfort level of the patient. Skeds are designed to envelop and cinch all on their own as you load them. And if you don't put a backboard in to create kind of a base plate or a blocker for that cinching element, they can actually over cinch and become very uncomfortable for the victims. With your victims, you make sure you follow all your C-spine precautions. If you can effectively manage your C-spine and put a helmet on them, whether it's with a Stokes or a Sked, that's your ideal protective measure for the victim. Safety glasses are a good idea as well. Once your victim's on the board, start with the backboard straps. Then you have two options. If you're going to lift the Sked system up horizontally, all you have to do is cinch the system up, use the retaining straps, and then run two engineered bridle straps through. That's the element that we'll do first. Once you have all the body straps tensioned, you're going to go ahead and roll up the foot segment. And you got a couple options for padding here and positioning. If you place the patient's feet upright and come to the outside with the straps, it has a tendency to cause a lot of flexion on the foot and can be very painful on the sole or on the Achilles area for the patient. If you flare the feet out, like the duck stance, it's generally a little more comfortable on the feet, but you need to pad the instep or the top of the patient's foot against the bottom edge of the sked to make sure that that doesn't dig into their foot when the sked becomes loaded. You come up with these straps to the first open grommet or through the lower handles. Either way is acceptable. Once you have everything strapped in, you're going to go ahead and do a lace down each side of the Stokes basket to position it for the vertical rigging. You got 30 feet of 10 mil or 11 mil or an appropriate other product. You're going to put a midline knot in it, either a butterfly or a figure eight on a bite, and then you're going to take your two tails to these top two open grommets. Run each tail through the grommets from the outside in. Once you cinch this for vertical loading, the head of the Stokes or of the sked is going to have a tendency to flare down. That's why it's more important with the sked than with the Stokes that you especially have a helmet on the victim, protect the bridge of the nose, any part of their face where this edge might dig in. Take this carry strap, tuck it inside. From here, you're going to go to the first open grommet, stick with the open grommets and the handles. Don't pass the lashing through any grommet that already has a webbing product in it. When you get to the bottom of the sked, you're going to find the two open grommets at the base of the sked, and you're going to run your lines to those. You're going to pass the rope through that grommet, bring it back up and through the handles, and then you're going to connect the tails of the two ropes together using a square knot and an overhand safety. Tuck all your tails inside of the sked, and you're set for your vertical attachment point. This would be the master attachment point for a vertical lift. So if we're oriented the victim head to toe, lifting at the head of the sked, this would be our connection points would be made with the midlines of our belay line and our main line. The tails both going to the victim's harness attachment point. If you're going to do a horizontal lift out with a Sked, there are engineered rigging straps that come with the Sked. One is marked head strap and the other one isn't. The head strap is a shorter segment and it's always going to go towards the upper portion of the victim's body. If you look at the Sked, there's several rigging openings, midpoint, bottom, and then two up at the top. Try and select the uppermost opening or the second one down. It helps if you have these laid out prior to packaging the patient. You can even have them already started in the Sked. If you already have the patient packaged, go ahead and line that up. You're going to do a slight lift with the load, slide the straps under until you get down to those rigging points. Once you're there, make sure that the strap passes under the Sked, not inside of the Sked. So we're coming around the outside of the Sked, pass those straps through, and then you'll work them around until they're going to be about equally loaded. That will be your top bridle. Then you duplicate that on the bottom. Bring all those straps together, create your master attachment point, and your horizontal rigging is set just like on a Stokes basket. Main line to here with a midline, goes to the victim. Belay, the same thing unless you're tending, and if you're tending, the tail of the belay goes to the rescuer or tender.